everybody, welcome to the O'Donnell podcast. Joining me today, we have two legends of pro wrestling. We have Eddie Slayer and Explicit Ken. Do you guys want to introduce yourself?
Ken, you can go first. I don't really know.
Hello everyone, I'm Explicit Ken, Pro Wrestler. Haven't been road wrestling in 6 months. I'll be back soon.
I'm Eddie Slayer. I've been wrestling since 2013. I started out in RCW, and here I am today.
Okay.
With people like Brock, Ken, Damon, you know.
So yeah, I want to get straight to the questions because I'm really happy that these two legends of pro wrestlers has actually joined me in my podcast today. So I've just sent you the link so you can share that with people or whatever. So what happens on my podcast is I'm going to ask you a few questions, then I'll give you the chance to ask me a few questions back in return.
Okay.
So the first question is fairly simple. What is the federation that kicked off your career? What's the federation that kicked off your career to get you to your position today?
That's actually very easy for me to answer. It's actually two federations, but mainly one. RCW, owned by Kids Rock 4. Before it was big, before anyone knew who Kids or anyone on the RCW roster was, like me, Brooksy, Damon, lots of top stars today started off there. Like, I was there in RCW, winning world titles there for about 1 or 2 years, building my way up, like molding myself into the wrestler I am today. And shortly after I started exploring other feds, I ran into RWWE, and I met Ethan there, and like to this day, he's become my best friend. He's helped me a lot with my career. Like we've been there for each other. Like we've done all sorts of shit to back each other up and help train each other. Like shout out to Ethan, by the way. And in RWWE, we had a match. It was actually at SummerSlam. Which was the most memorable pay-per-view in RWWE history. And growing up in wrestling, I was actually quite hated, but not really hated, but hated by some. Because when you're like a top star, you do have some critics, you have some lovers, and going into this match, I had the support, and it was a really big match for the RWWE title, and I won that match, and that's the match that brought us as best friends, and that's the match that really kicked off my career.
Okay, now, same question goes for you, Ken. What's the federation that kicked off your career? Is it the same as Eddie's, or do you have a different one?
Well, I don't know what to say about my federation or my career being kicked off because I haven't been road wrestling 6 months, so I wouldn't say any. But when I come back, I'm still going to prove myself and to prove everyone why I deserve, why I can hang with the big dogs. So yeah.
Alright, so this goes for you, Ken. You've been out for 5 months, I think it is.
6 months.
6 months, my bad there. When do you think you'll be coming back? When do you think you're going to be returning?
Right now I still don't know, but all I can tell you that it's pretty soon I'm definitely returning. And when I do return, I'm finna, bust my ass. I'm finna kick ass. I'm finna, try to get to that top level where Eddie's at and where everyone else is trying to be.
Oh, okay. So moving on to the next question is a similar question to the one I just asked you. What is the biggest moment in your careers so far?
I mean, who should go first? Me or you, Ken?
I think
you
Ken
want to
should
go
first because you answered it first last time.
Okay, that's fair.
Not sure. Biggest, probably some indie title. Is I still basically I'm not gonna count my debut as RWU because I was close to winning a title there. at a house show, but that didn't work, so it didn't happen. So I basically won indie titles. So I would say this low card Fed,
Alright.
not sure. It's probably dead right now.
And what's it called? If you remember the name at all.
I think it's Extreme Wrestling Entertainment. Yeah.
Alright.
No,
So,
no, yeah, it's Extreme Wrestling Entertainment.
oh, okay. So, Eddie, do you wanna give us your answer now?
Yeah, of course. The biggest moment in my career that would actually be a three-way tie. Can that count? Can I take about each?
Yeah. It's
Okay. So the first, obviously, has to be the TNX Championship because I was fired from. I wasn't fired. I left TNX in late 2015. I returned, and shortly after, I became the TNX champion in a quick time span, defeating two of the most difficult people I've ever faced, Undead Brock and Ken Rollins, in a really good match. I got teamed on towards the end, but I got a kill on Brock, and Ken got the tool step, and that's how I become TNX champion, and that's when I became the face of pro wrestling at that time. And the second would have to be winning the VCW championship against Undead Brock. I honestly did not expect to become VCW champion so quickly because I just went to the show and I didn't even know I was booked for the number one contender, and it was like a 6-man match. I defeated Brutal Damon in the final two and went on the next day to defeat Brock. And the third would have to be defeating Brutal Damon at RCW Mania. Now, let me explain why. Me and Damon have a huge past. Like, we have a huge hate past. We have a huge love past. We were best of friends, fiercest of rivals, and at times he always bested me, at times I always bested him, and that was like the biggest one-on-one match I've ever had, probably, besides ORW Mania, and for it to be such a perfect place, such a perfect time for me to get my revenge and get the win that I waited a long time for. Not that I haven't did it before, but like that was like the nail in the coffin of our rivalry, which is still going on to this day. But yeah, just getting that moment was a really big moment, considering it was at a WrestleMania too. You know.
Yeah. Like I was saying, or another question is, excuse me, Undead Brock. Do you respect him at all? Do you dislike him? What are your thoughts on him?
My thoughts on Undead Brock. Okay, I'm gonna be honest here. I respect him a lot because he's paved the way for a lot of the people that are rising up today, like myself, kids, Damon, others that are making a name for themselves, that are getting into the form that he was in years ago. And I respect him for that. Me and him have had some beef recently, but we squashed it and we're cool now. I don't know what he thinks of me, but I don't have like an opinion on him personally. Like, I don't necessarily like love the guy, but of course I don't hate him. Like, I know he's good at what he does and that he's probably gonna be remembered as the greatest wrestler of all time, along with Sonic, Hub, and others. And yeah, it's pretty much been my goal to like get to the level that he's at one day. So yeah, I don't hate him.
Alright, so this is a question for both of you. Who do you hate most in the Pro Wrestling community?
Oh my god. Okay. Let Ken go first, honestly, because like I really need to think about that for a quick second. Like, try to be long term.
Alright. Like, this might go on as a rant, and if it do, I'm sorry. But I hate this guy named Skelly20 the most. Like, you don't know how bad I hate him. Ever since I stepped foot in a Pro Wrestling ring, that man has been there. Always trying to bring me down, trying to ruin my reputation, trying to ruin my career. Started rumors about me, fake rumors. Every little thing I do, it could be
Maybe.
bad or good, he would turn it against me. He would use it against me and make it to the worst. And usually, he would make these little video clips of me trying to embarrass me on YouTube. Like, the man's really annoying, and I know I'm not the only one who feels this way, but he's been doing it to me the longest and the worst. But I know he's been doing it to others. Like, the man has no soul. Like, I don't want to act like I'm the only one that has experienced it, but if anyone that's watching this, that man Skelly has no soul, and I think he should be banned from all feds because the man's nothing but a troll who would take advantage of you with every chance that he could have.
Okay, so we're going to be moving on to the comment section now. So we're going to be reading some comments if that is alright. So send us some questions, and what's going to happen is Eddie and Ken is going to be answering them the best they can. And also, I've actually got a private message from a man named Manslaughter Ian. Have you ever heard of him?
What's his name again? Repeat it again,
Manslaughter.
please.
Manslaughter.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Okay, so he wants to know your opinion of him.
My opinion, like, I don't really know you personally, so I can't really give, like, a full opinion on you, but the fact that I've heard of you, that must mean you're doing something good, and yeah, maybe I'd like to get to know you. Just hit me up on Kick, Eddie_Slayer1, and we could talk, and then I could give a full opinion on you, but as it stands, like, I don't know you too well. You seem like a cool guy. I know you're a cool guy. And yeah, maybe you got some potential. You never know. I just gotta see.
Alright. So we have a question for Eddie, and I will be reading out a lot of questions. So the one I cannot pronounce his name, but it says talk about GMT division.
GMT division.
Yeah.
Let me go first.
Yeah. I'll say let
Alright.
Ken do this because yeah.
Okay.
Alright, I may be an Eastern Row wrestler, but I love GMT Row. I love GMT Row Wrestling. I'm a huge fan of it. And my boy Rudy, that man, I know he came up short in his match against Finn, but he represented what it meant to be a GMT wrestler. He showed that GMT could hang with Eastern. And there's many more underrated superstars like Keisuke, Shadow, and there's many more. I can't think of them, but there are more great GMT wrestlers, and Tams is doing a great job with hosting UKW. So is Boss with hosting CCW, and both of them make GMT great. And honestly, right now, it's great to be a GMT fan, and GMT wrestling is gonna get better. And like right now, I could say it's better than Eastern.
Okay, so Eastern, and also I've been discussing this match for I think 2 or 3 podcasts, and the first being with Carbon Carnage. He mentioned it to me with Rudy and Finn Balor having the one-on-one to see. We have Royce. I cannot pronounce it. I'm very sorry, but we have the Demon of GMT versus the Demon of the Eastern. And after he lost that match, his career's just gone down afterwards. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to some questions because the chat is just exploding right now.
How many people are wait? We can ask a quick question. How many people are watching this right now?
16.
16?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the latest question is Kid Links. He says, "What does Ken and Eddie think of me?" This person is his name is Kid Links Design. I
Yeah.
have no idea what his Roblox name is, but what do you think of him?
What do I think of him? Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. Like, he's a funny guy. He has some cool ass gimmicks. He's a solid wrestler. He's pretty good at what he does, and I bet he's a trustworthy guy. Like, I could get to know him better, and just keep doing what you do because you're doing something good. And if you keep doing something good, you can start to win smaller titles, and smaller titles lead to bigger titles, and bigger titles lead to you becoming great. That's what you need to do.
Okay, so somebody wants. I think this is X David himself, but he wants us to talk about himself, which is X David. Yeah, this is the man who said, or boy who said, you inspired him to become a Roblox wrestler and stuff like that. So, what do you think of him just by hearing that sentence?
Which one of us inspired him is the question.
No, Ken. Ken did it. Ken inspired him.
Alright. The man has a lot of potential. Like, I swear, I can't believe he don't get matches at Pro Feds. Like, no shade to ORW and UKW, but he deserves matches, great matches. The man is really great. He's talented in the ring. Like, if he was given a chance at a world title, he would win, and basically he would win and show what he's worth and how good he is to others.
Oh, okay. So we have oh my lord, there's so many questions, but this question really stuck out to me. Yo, Ed, who are your best rivals to Eddie, and who is your best friend you are at right now? Also, what do you think of Proto Drake 567?
So basically the question is, who are my fiercest rivals, and who is my best friend?
Yeah, I think I already know your best friend already.
Okay. I'll answer the rival part first. My biggest rivals and throughout my whole career is two people. Brutal Damon and Kids Rock 4. Let me explain Damon. Me and Damon go back to early 2015 when he debuted in RCW. Me and him had a lot of good and close matches. You know, we didn't really have much going on against each other, but we ended up facing each other in a fatal four-way. We were the final two for the Raw WWE Championship, and I beat him in a really close match, may I add. And shortly after, a few minutes after, I gave the title to him because I knew from the start he had some potential. Like, I knew he was going to be big, but I didn't expect him to surpass my expectations. But, yeah, I gave him that championship, and he ran with it. And as he started to go with it, he started to become as good as me. And, like, he started beating me, and eventually he became slightly better. And, like, I had to push myself to get ahead of him, and I did. And me and him, our rivalry, the main place that our rivalry stood was RCW and RWWE, and we had so many matches throughout late 2015, and eventually our rivalry headed into Anti-Nexus versus Anti-Shield. At the time, I was in Anti-Nexus, and at the time, Damon was in Anti-Shield, and our rivalry just kept going. We just kept kicking each other's asses and winning titles, always trying to outdo each other. And to this very day we are. It went into RCW Mania, CCW Slamathon, so many pay-per-views, so many world titles, so many matches and manias and pay-per-views we've just outlined and put on 5-star matches. And yeah, I'd have to call Damon my greatest rival of all time. And for Kids Rock 4, it started in 2013 in RCW. Back then he was the RCW champion, but me and him had a straight up hate relationship with each other, and it led to a lot of matches, of course. And just like with Damon, we never really fought too many times for world titles, but we did twice, and he beat me both times. May I add, I wasn't nearly as good back then, but still, our rivalry ended up getting so personal that had to be fired. We had, like, squad wars, whatever you want to call it. We had a huge rivalry in RCW, Anti-Court versus the Corporation, and it wasn't a kayfabe rivalry. Like most rivalries you see these days are like kayfabe, like it's all played inside the ring. But no, this was actually a hate rivalry. Like it usually ended up me getting kicked from shows, the people in my faction getting kicked and banned from shows. But you know, all of the rivalries, like it drew me and Kids together as really close friends today, and like I respect him. I respect that man Kids more than any other person in pro wrestling right now.
Alright. So, this person has been begging me to ask you this question. He wants me to ask you a question about KORW, and why you joined it, and what do you think it will turn out to be. This is for both of you. This is for both of you. I think Ken should answer this one first because...
Okay. Can we both answer it, though?
Yeah. Both of you should answer it.
Okay.
King of Pro Wrestling is family. Family no matter what. Family got its back. We support each other. We're just family. Nothing could break that bond that we all have. And shout out to KORW. We're going to be big one day. I promise that. We're going to be the kings of pro wrestling. We're going to be on top.
Mind me, I'm sorry for butting in, but KORW, is it fed because you said something like family? Because I've never heard someone called a federation a family before. So can you explain to me what do you mean by family?
It's not a federation.
Oh, okay. So can you
more
explain
like
what it is?
Family. Group of people. It's not just a group of people, but it's family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're like blood. Nothing can separate that.
Okay, may I go now?
Yeah.
Okay, KORW was formed by me and Death by Kisuke. Me and Kisuke are like, me and him are like the bestest of friends. We're brothers, just like everyone else in that chat, and people like Jaden, you know. And we formed the chat. At first, the chat was me, Kisuke, Jaden, and KDB. Those are like 4 people. Like I knew I could trust no matter what. Whatever went inside that chat stayed inside that chat. And eventually we started adding more people, and our bonds with each other just grew closer and closer. Like now we're like a family, and we're only going to grow closer as a family. And the fights or issues we go through are going to bring us together closer as a family. And honestly, KORW, a lot of people in there, their chances have been blocked or shut out by other cliches like Anti-Nexus, like no shade, Anti-Nexus, China Squad, like no shade there. Like I'm just speaking for the people in the chat, but yeah, and us together, like we're gonna do great things. The people in there are gonna do great things. Everyone in there, everyone in there is great people with great friends, trustworthy people. I'm glad to call all of them family. And yeah, that's basically what KORW really is.
Alright. So, this is a question about TNX. What are your thoughts on TNX?
My thoughts on TNX. TNX is the #1 federation today. I could say VCW is also #1 with it, because it kind of is, because of the effort and the things that Cena has done for it. You just can't say that it's not #1 also. But yeah, TNX is looked at as the #1 federation, and as long as that stands, it's gonna stay as the #1 federation, and it's for a reason. Like Lonnie has booked some great storylines. Like I've been in some of them. Friends of mine have been in storylines in there. I've made a lot of friends in there. Like had a lot of rivalries, had a lot of good times, had some bad times. But overall, I respect TNX. I respect Sonic. It's a great place, although like some things people don't agree with what goes on in there. Like some people don't, some people do. I'm not gonna speak on that, but yeah, I don't really have any problems with TNX. I like going, I like fighting there, even though it could be really laggy for me sometimes. Like I still go sometimes and fight. And recently, I've just returned to wrestling, and I'm looking to get back to TNX.
Okay, so what about you, Ken? Have you ever heard of TNX? I'm not quite sure if it's been around for, or if you've ever joined it. But what are your opinions on TNX? If you've ever heard of it, that is.
like Eddie said, it is the number one top Fed in the Eastern brand or side. It's just that it's making some, I wouldn't say dumb, but it's making some bad mistakes trying to go out in a Fed war with ORW, trying to close them out on Wednesday by bringing back RWA on Wednesdays.
Alright. So, I'm gonna read some more comments, and you are saying TNX is the number one Fed. Is that right?
Mhm.
Well, somebody in the chat disagrees with you. He says that RCW is the number one Fed. And we also have a, I think this is the official, the official YouTube channel for our WWE. Opinion on Roblox Void Creations. I think this is the owner of our WWE. I'm not quite sure. I'll just post
Okay,
it.
RBC, Roblox Voided Creations. The man helped me a lot in my career. Me and him have had like a lot of ups and downs, but me and him are like brothers now because the fights and like disagreements and salt that we've had for each other, like it's brought us closer together to this day.
Alright.
RVC, he's a great guy. He has great friends and he runs a great federation. It's just he's made some mistakes and that set it back, but I believe he can get it back up. Nothing's impossible. Anything can happen. Just remember that. Don't sleep on RWWE and do not sleep on RVC.
Alright. So, do you want to continue answering these comments, or do you want to move on to something else? Because we have a lot of comments.
You can ask a few more.
Oh, okay. So, top 5 rising... Wait, never mind. Eddie, who's the person who gave you a hella fight? That's what he legit said. A hella fight.
Who said that?
Let's me have a look. It was... Wait, let me have a... I can't find him, but... oh, wait, hold on. He said, Jesus Christ, I can't even find it anymore. But yeah. Who gave you a hella fight? Oh, it was X-Justin. X-Justin.
Brock. Brock at ORW Judgment Day. Yeah, that was probably the best match I've ever been in a singles.
Okay. So, another one for Ken. Top 5 rising stars. If you're not able to answer this because you've been away for the past 5 months, I would say give it.
Could I answer it
Yeah,
afterwards too? Because
Yeah.
okay, thank.
Alright, like, people I'm about to name, I feel like they haven't been given chances at Pro Feds, but they're really good. Alright. I would say David for number 1.
Yeah.
Like David IX.
Yeah.
I would say Keisuke, because the man is really great in the ring.
Okay.
Who else? I want to say one of my best friends, Timtista, because he's really good, but he's a troll.
Yeah.
And Richard Zane, he's really good. He's really good. I can imagine him holding a world title. And next, I want to say Shadow. Eddie, you already rose to the top. And since this guy Future CT is spamming me on Skype, I would say him.
Alright.
Okay.
What about top 5 GMT feds?
Wait. Can I answer top 5 rising stars first?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Sorry for interrupting, but I kind of want to answer this one.
No problem.
Okay, coming in at number 1, I'm gonna exclude people who've already risen, like Brock, Ken, me, Damon, etc. Coming in at number 1, I'm gonna say Kids because, yeah, I know he's already rose to the top, but it was very recently, and there's still a lot to come from him. So we haven't seen all of him. Coming in at number 2, I'm gonna say James, like Moondust James, like JVMESS. He's really talented, and he hasn't been able to showcase it the way I think he should. Shout out to him, by the way. Coming in at number 3, I'm gonna say Awesome Sniper Strike, and the only reason I put him behind James is because Awesome Sniper Strike has been big since last year, but recently he's just done a lot better than he has before. And coming in at number 4, like, this may sound like dumb to some people, but not dumb to others. I'm gonna say Chicken because he hasn't really done much in the ring lately, but he's been getting like a lot of attention as of late. And coming in at number 5, I'm gonna say David because he's been making a name for himself as well.
Okay, so opinion on ORW being exposed for getting rigged.
ORW being exposed for being rigged. Okay, I think ORW has changed from those ways, but I highly doubt that the only times ORW has rigged were the 2 times that he was caught doing it. You know what I mean? I think he's changed from those ways. He's learned from those mistakes because it's happened twice, and ORW is like in a really bad state right now. So I think obviously his mindset would be to work towards making it a better place, not rigging it anymore.
Oh, okay. So, any thoughts on that as well, Ken? ORW getting exposed for being rigged?
Yeah, he has made some bad mistakes, I'm pretty sure. So I know he has made some bad mistakes, and how many times have he done it? Twice? I'm pretty sure he's gonna learn from those 2 mistakes and try to make it a good Royal Wrestling environment for others, so they could enjoy themselves, and it'll work their way back up to being a pro fed.
Alright. So, what is your thoughts on, this is for both of you, what are your thoughts on GXW?
GXW?
Yeah.
I don't know too much about it. I've been there a few times. It's a pretty good fed, and I think KRX works hard towards it. I could see it becoming a top fed one day because I know he's a hardworking guy. And he's a cool guy as well.
Yeah. He was supposed to be coming on my podcast, the owner of it, but he had some personal issues to take care of, unfortunately. Anyway,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay, who would win in a fight? Manslaughter or Ken? When he was still wrestling, and tell Eddie I'm in your game. Tell him that who would win in a fight, me or Ken, when he was still wrestling, and tell Eddie. That's legit what he's put. That's all. That's what he put.
Yeah, I gotta say Ken because I used to train with him back then. No offense.
Nah. Oh, okay. There we go. What is your opinion on Shadow?
Who's this for?
Both. It says arcs both.
Okay. Chatter. He's one of the most humble guys I know. He's a great friend in the business. I could say he's a legend because he's been working his ass off for years, and I think people who've done that deserve to be called a legend. And if that's the case, Chatter more than deserves that. He needs to win some more world titles to place himself in the history books. But yeah, he's a really good friend of mine, and he's like really fun to talk to and be around. And he's one of the greatest at front takedown also. He's a cool guy.
Oh, okay. He's a cool guy. Anyway, let's have a look. Tell Eddie I'm in his game. So Manslaughter's in his game. He's been begging me to tell you that. And let's look at some more comments. Comments on X Justin IX.
I'll let Ken go because I'm going too many times.
Yeah.
Alright. He's a good Justin Carter gimmick. He does it well. And I've never seen a man, well, I've seen it, but I haven't seen one recently from a man who started from the bottom to look where he's at now. He's doing pretty good for himself in RCW, winning titles. I know that he could win more titles too.
Okay. Now, this is a question that I think is really good actually. Opinion on the new gen wrestlers, and I'm a new gen wrestler as well. So, what is your opinion on us, the new gen
Oh,
wrestlers?
okay. I'm a new gen. I'm not a newbie, like a new gen, but I'm a new gen because I started out in 2013, and the people I wrestled with, grew up wrestling with, were new gens like Kids and Brooke, Hungry, Sniperfish, Creative, even though I kicked his ass all the time because he sucked. Um, and yeah, 17-2. Let's see. Yeah, people like that, you know. They're the people that are leading pro wrestling today. That's all that needs to be said. If they are where they are now, they're doing something great. There are some new gens that are like really immature, but a lot of them set good examples. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
Okay. So,
And
uh,
and being a new gen doesn't make you any like less skillful or less important or less good at playing a gimmick and stuff like that. You get what I mean.
okay. So, we actually have a request from Manslaughter. He says, "Ask Eddie if we can go to the gym of tragedy, right now, and do you want to fight him at the gym right now?"
Okay, I'll go.
Pardon?
I said I'll go.
You'll
You
go?
can like move on, huh?
Did you say you'll go?
Yeah, I said I'll go to fight him, but I'm staying in this phone.
Oh, okay. I don't mind watching that as well. So, somebody said, what do you think of ICW if you've ever heard of it?
Never heard of it, so I can't give an honest opinion. But I guess if someone's asking me about it, must be doing something all right. Good luck to whoever owns it, and I hope it turns out successful for you.
Yeah, the owner was
And
asking about it.
yeah,
Um, so comments on Photo Drake 567.
the man is one of my best friends. Like he's one of the hardest opponents I've ever faced. He used to push me to my limits. He still can. There's more to come from Proto, and yeah, he's a cool guy. He plays football IRL. He's a strong guy, I guess, you know. Um, and he's definitely a strong pro wrestler. He's just a great friend in general. He's a funny guy.
Okay, so comments on cancer known as memeing fool from the owner of ICW, and Manslaughter says, Eddie, follow me right now. I'm at the gym.
Okay.
Jesus.
I mean, if you want, we can like move on to the next thing because like I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Yeah. So what do you think of the Divas New Gen?
Oh, I want to answer this.
Okay.
Alright, when you think of new gens of Diva, the first name that pops up is Brooks. Because she's been a beast lately. She's been tearing it up. She's been dominating the division. She's the next face once people like McCool retires. This is going to be her division. And she's making the division look great by challenging male pro wrestlers for their male titles. She's making it work for her. She's basically trying to make her career legendary by winning male titles, I guess.
Oh, okay. Well, I have been asking you lot so many questions. I do this every podcast. Do you want to ask me any questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
When did you start pro wrestling? How did you start pro wrestling, and what inspired you to become a pro wrestler?
What inspired me to become a pro wrestler? Straightforward answer. I just watched it on the TV, and I was playing Roblox at the time, and I searched it up. I think it was WWE 2K12, and I used to dress up as Shawn Michaels. I used to just roleplay, I guess, and that's the first time I ever stepped foot inside the ring. So yeah, not really a
That's
good.
interesting.
So let me just have a look. Anything else you want to ask me, or?
Yeah, do you enjoy doing these podcasts?
I enjoy them a lot because number one, they actually get people to know me. So number two, I get to actually talk to the good people and actually get to know them. And number three, I just really enjoy just doing podcasts and getting people to view me and stuff like that. Plus, there's no
That's good.
there's no podcasts. There's no real a real good, successful pro wrestling podcast. So I thought to myself, I might as well start one up and do some stuff and just do it. As well as X David is continuously bugging me. I'm just gonna ignore this. Let me just have a look at the chat, and we should be ready to go. Anyway, what is your opinion on Brooke? Eddie.
My opinion on Brooke. Okay, Brooke. Me and Brooke, we had a lot of ups and downs in 2014, but she's a good friend of mine. She's one of the people I respect the most in wrestling, along with kids and a few others. She's really good at pro wrestling. Even though she's a diva, she's one of the best. She can fight against any pro wrestler and put up a good fight, and even win against any pro wrestler. She took the Divas division to a whole new ball game, and she's been doing it ever since 2013. And she's a trustworthy friend and a funny friend and a good friend in general.
Oh, okay. So this is a question for both of you from me. Who do you think is very overrated? An overrated person in your opinion?
Okay. That's definitely got to be K4L, because every time that man comes out, he gets the biggest pops, and he gets a lot of recognition. But really, what has he done? What has he done? How many chances has he choked? Exactly.
So, what about you, Ken? Who do you think is overrated?
Not sure. I'd say K4L for the same thing Eddie said.
Oh, okay. So, let me have a look at the chat. And for a joke question, somebody has said, what do you think of Pornhub? Please ask them this. And also...
Wait.
Whoever asked that question must be lonely.
Yeah. They must not have anyone in their life. No, I was joking.
What about the family?
Family.
I think that's how you spell it, right?
Let me answer this, because I used to be in there. Okay, Phantom likes to say that he helped kick off my career, and that's far from true. The person that helped kick off my career, if anyone, were people like Kids, Brooke, Flames Dude 44, RVC, and SDR, and yeah, the family, they can be really annoying. Some things they do are kind of make me chuckle and laugh. I don't know, but a lot of the things they do are immature. They're good. They're a good heel faction, and some people in there are actually kind of good. Phantom himself isn't that bad, but Phantom's a good friend of mine, actually. Me and him are pretty close. We don't take the stuff that happens inside the ring, outside the ring, because that shouldn't really matter,
Yeah. So, what do you think about Death by Kisua? I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm very sorry about that. But do you know who I'm talking about? Death.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Okay.
Man was he was like a rival. He was sort of like a rival to me, even though we never really faced back in the day. We had a lot of hate for each other. But that honestly made us grow to become really, really close friends. He's probably the realest guy I know. He's never afraid to keep it honest. He's very underrated. He even underrates himself, is what I believe. The man doesn't see what he's truly capable of. The man did something that no one has ever done. He went against PG, he beefed with him, and he came out on top. He proved he was better than him, and for how it stands, he is better than him. No shade to PG, but he kind of beat you for that VCW Intercontinental title. Like I said, no offense, but he proved himself there. He proved himself in other places, and he's looking to prove himself some more and win a world title and get on the level that a lot of people are at today, and a lot of people are trying to get to. He's like a great friend of mine.
Alright. So I've just seen a question in the chat that's really just made me laugh, but unfortunately I'm not going to read it out. So, let's move on to a question. What do you think of Chinatown and, what about HHH's logo? No, let's forget about that. What gimmick do you think is very overused?
Very overused. That's actually kind of hard. AJ Styles, I guess. I don't know.
AJ Styles.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What about you? What about you?
To be honest, I think it's Ziggler because ever since PG started making his attires, you would see everyone else copying him. And I would also say Balor because whenever it's only cool when Rudy and Finn does it. I see people copying Rudy's attire just to piss him off. That's kind of stupid.
Okay. Now, the person that I'm going to ask you about is voted one of the most hated people in the community. His name is XBeastIX. Have you ever heard of him?
Oh my god. Yo, this man is so fucking annoying. Okay.
Everyone knows this person.
He needs help. He just needs help. I beat him today at RCW, and he started spamming rig. Like, Jesus, like, calm down with your salt, man. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, go outside or something.
Bloody hell.
Stop getting so pissed off.
Oh, okay. Because he.
Can you ask him, do he want salt with his popcorn?
He's actually in the game right now. He's actually.
Yeah, he's spamming me. Hi Eddie. Don't. See, he's fucking retarded. That's all there is to it.
Yes. I never faced Ken. Of course you never faced Ken. He has been out of Raw Wrestling for about 5 months. You stupid child. Anyway, what about this? Thoughts on BND retiring today?
Oh, BND, man. Daly is like he's the greatest friend. He's the greatest friend I've ever had. He's always there for me when I'm down, and he always knows what to say. He was like my go-to shoulder to cry on all the time. He's a great guy. He's made a lot of great friends, and those friends are gonna miss him a lot. I'm sure as hell gonna miss him. I know, man. He always downs himself because he can't seem to win that world title, but honestly, I think he already has won that world title. And even if in his mind that he hasn't, he's done something greater. He's made friends that will never forget him.
Oh, okay.
That's true.
Do you have anything
Like
else to add on that?
Daly is he's a good person. We need more people like him instead of losing people like him. There will never be another Daly. For all those Intercontinental titles he held, he made them feel like a world title.
Oh, okay.
And he did his time, and he will never be missed. And I love him as a brother.
Okay. I just want to say you're lagging a bit. What are your thoughts on Boss Raymundo retiring?
Boss Raymundo.
Pardon?
Like, I don't like that he's retiring, but if it's the choice that he needs to make, then so be it. It's his choice. It's his life. The guy has a lot of potential. He thinks he's lost some of it, but he still has a lot left in him that he just doesn't see. But what he's done so far is more than good enough. I'm happy to say that he's been one of my best friends, and even if he retires now, he can still say that he's done enough.
Alright. So, Did you ever get to know him? Did you actually get to, talk to him outside of the ring? Did you actually have a
Us,
match? Yeah, did you have a match with him,
of
like,
course,
at his
of
prime?
course, several matches. At RCW, it was an NXT pay-per-view. I fought him in his prime, and I was near my prime. I won 2-1 in one of the best matches I've ever been in,
Oh, okay.
and he's like a brother to me. So of course I've gotten to know him.
You have a lot of
Same here.
brothers. But what is your best match for both of you? What is the best match you've ever had in your Raw wrestling career?
Ken, go first. I'll go second.
Don't remember. I would say that my RW debut, basically, it was a multi-man match, and RCC kept on changing the stipulation. First, it would be a lion's den, then a flaming elimination chamber, then a hell cell. Proto was there. I remember that. And it was winner gets a extreme title shot, and they would get ranked up to Raw blocks ASAP.
Okay, so alright, what do you think on women? Okay, never mind. So let's just move on to another question. About Cena 54 John. He owns a Fed, a 500 member Fed, I believe it is, and he was voted one of the best superstars or one of the best Raw wrestlers there is at one point of his career. Have you ever met the guy? Have you ever,
Yeah.
are you
Alright.
friends with the guy and stuff like that?
Yeah, me and him,
He's
are
gonna
like,
go.
okay, you can go, I guess.
Basically, he's gonna be. Basically, he's one of the greatest of all time. He has a goat gimmick, a goat theme, goat attires, and he has a goat fed. I know he hasn't been feeling his love for Raw wrestling, but I know at the deep of his heart, he's still here because he loved Raw wrestling. That's why he's still here.
Oh, okay. So, what are your thoughts on him, Eddie?
He's someone I respect the most. Like, other than John, like, I respect him the most because I know he's been through a lot of hard times and, like, a lot of struggles to get where he is. He's dealt with people, he's dealt with problems, but he's handled it, and he's came out of it better than myself or a lot of other people ever could. He's built an image. He's built the best image, like, that anyone's ever had in a wrestling. VCW is a great fed. The matches there are, like, some of the best in Raw wrestling. I've had a lot of good matches there. I've won the title there, and I was glad to say that I was VCW champ. And
Okay.
Raw wrestling needs more people like him, you know.
So, have you ever heard of a guy named King Booker T? I think his name is.
Yeah, he's a good friend.
What your
Yes.
personal
Raw
opinion of him?
Personal opinion?
Yeah.
He's really fun to talk to in calls, like in Chinatown and one-on-one calls. I've been in one-on-one calls with him, me, and kids. He's a good Raw wrestler. He's made a name for himself. He used to be like really big in GMT. He's a cool guy in general.
Alright. So, wait, how long have we been broadcasting for? We have been broadcasting for 52 minutes. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm going to ask a few more questions. What are your thoughts on IIJ Ryan XIX?
I've only taught him at gyms, but from the times I taught them, he's a cool guy.
Oh, okay. Have you ever met him, Ken?
I saw him at Gym of Tragedy, and I saw him winning the RCW Hardcore title on the RCW Network. It was well earned, and his swings are OP.
Oh, okay. What about a guy named Meme? I saw he's on your friends list, Eddie, but what do you think of him, Meme? He goes
Me
for
and him don't really talk. I don't have like a reason to like him or a reason to hate him, but I mean, I guess I could get to know him.
Okay, so I'm just curious here because I saw him on your friends list for some reason when I was scrolling through your profile to check out your accomplishments, and so what? You don't know him at all. What do you think of his in-ring performance?
I haven't seen him performing actually, but
Oh,
I've heard the name somewhere.
oh, okay.
I've talked to him like once, and it was like beefing a little bit, but not really. We sorted it out. It was all cool.
Okay. So, what do you think about Chinatown? Um, so, what do you think about Chinatown?
Hey, Chinatown, bro. Bro, everyone in there is funny as hell, and like most of us are like family. We don't really talk about pro wrestling as much. Like we talk about things that go on outside of pro wrestling, like real life stuff. We play games, you know.
Just chill out,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. Corey's diss tracks are real funny. Well, they're fire. Yeah, a lot of people in there are pretty cool.
Oh, okay. So, let me just check my phone because it's really late right now. Okay. So, last few questions, and I just want to ask you both a question. Have you
Yeah,
enjoyed
what
your
is it?
time being on my podcast?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
I'm really glad to hear that. Hold on. Let me just see two more comments, and then I'm going to.
Wait. I have a
Okay.
request.
Okay.
Can I add Chicken China CT to this call right quick as a special guest? He requested it from me real fast.
What's his Roblox name?
Chicken CT. He's basically like the leader of Chinatown. He's COO of
Formerly known,
RWWE legend.
formerly known as Chicken Morella.
Oh, okay.
Could I add him right? I don't know what he wants, but he wants to talk about one thing.
Okay. You can invite him. I have no problem. Before I end this call, you can invite him.
Okay. Let me.
Before you invite him, Keisuke wanted us to give our opinions on him.
Okay. Wait, who is that again?
Death by Keisuke.
I already gave my opinion.
Same. He knows how I feel about him.
Wait, have you invited him yet? Or... Oh, there he is. Chicken tea. Also, Eddie, have you ever taught somebody? Like, have you ever taught someone?
Yeah, Damon.
Damon. Oh, okay. Is that the only person you've taught?
No.
Oh, do you
I
teach a lot
taught a
of
few
people?
people. I taught like a few people like here and there. Like I taught like Ethan and Sarah a few things. I taught. I guess I may have like. I didn't teach kids anything, but we pushed each other to our limits.
Okay. Is he joining or is he... What's he doing?
I'm not sure, but I'll get him to join. You can just talk about a few more things if
Okay.
you want. Like ask Ken a few questions because I've been
Alright,
talking the
Ken.
majority of the
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah. Okay, so Ken, here's a question on you. What do you think of the future of Raw Wrestling?
Alright. When people like Brock, PG, Cena are gone, I obviously see the face of GMT, David, and the face of Eastern. They're going to claim Eddie and Damon and Kids as old gen, and they're probably going to be the top three guys by then. And you're going to see people like me and many others challenge them and stuff. You're going to see King of Pro Wrestling, KORW, at the top.
Oh, okay. So, what's it called? Eddie and, you know what, wait, hold on for a second. Ken, this is for you. Would you ever consider making a federation?
Yeah, I have, and I'm making another one too.
Oh, okay. And when are you going to make it? When you return?
Well, we already have the decodes and the titles ready, the arenas in construction. All we need is the host right here.
Oh, okay. Wait, has he just joined? Because I've just found it. Okay, so Trade Design asked if you can rate him for 1 to 10 if you've ever heard of him.
In skill,
Yeah, skill.
Chicken says it won't let him join the call. Yeah, I think you have to add him as a contact. Wait, what?
I don't think so because I'm not the host of the call.
Is it possible to recall like really fast?
I don't know, but I'm getting a. Can I ask you a question, both of you? Because I'm. Opinion on Tan, the owner of UKW.
Tim?
Alright, I got this.
Yeah, look, Tim.
Alright. His victory on Sonic, he deserved it. He's great with his Fed UKW. When I went there on mobile, I enjoyed it, and they've had some pretty big matches like Rudy versus Finn, Brock versus Diddy, MGZ versus PG. It's very. I enjoy his Fed so much, and I hope it don't end. And keep doing what you're doing as a Raw wrestler and as a Fed owner.
Okay. So this guy's really really wants you to give you know Trade Design. Have you ever heard of him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. He wants you to give his a rating in his in-ring performance at 1 to 10. 10 being the at your level of what you consider really good, and 1 being horrible and at a jobber level.
1. No, I'm just joking. I give him like 7.5 because he's pretty good.
Oh, okay. Is he joining at all, or what's he doing?
Hold on 1 sec.
Okay.
He's in the call.
Oh my lord, my ears. Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
god.
Okay.
Yo, what's up?
Okay. What do you want to talk about?
You nigga, how was your day?
Good, but you said you wanted to talk about something. I don't know what it is, but you said you wanted
I want to talk about you, baby.
to. What?
What?
Hey, yo, my bad. That was Tyrone. Hey, yo,
Okay.
let me see that cute ass. Bro, alright.
Okay.
So let's talk about how I am the best wrestler in the wrestling. 10-time TNX champion, 30-time ORW champion, 15-time RWE champion, 15-time RWE champion. Come at me, bro. Come at me, bro.
Hey, if y'all watching this live, I dare y'all to roast Chicken in the comments.
You can't roast a god.
Oh, the
In fact, I beat 80 Slayer 10-0. I beat Ken 30-0. I beat Undead Brock 100-0. Nobody can touch
Hello?
me.
Yeah.
is he joined or was? Oh yeah, he has joined. Never mind. Jesus Christ. So I may be ending the stream shortly. Probably one of the most viewed stream I've ever had. So that's good.
Because I'm here, because everybody wants to see me. We all know.
I know, right? Joined for 10 minutes. Everybody came.
You guys got like 1 million right now. I want to give some shout outs to my fans out there. My best friend, Undead Brock. My other best friend that I had Pizza Hut with, PG. My other best friend, KB Orton. And Shawn Michael, because I had to buy him a pair of shoes because he had Skechers. And I want to say, I want to give a shout out to my girls. You know who you are. Hey, Nikki. Mwah, nigga. Haley D. Psych, nigga, the fuck? But, yo, Eddie. How was your day, baby? Take off your clothes. Bend over.
Comments on.
Okay.
Wait, can I answer a question right quick?
Go and you can answer a question.
Okay, I see in the chat comments on Ethan there, and Ethan is my day one best friend. Me and him, we've had each other's backs through everything, and that's what brought us as close as we are as friends today. Yeah, that's my thoughts on Ethan.
You want my thoughts on Ethan? That nigga too salty, bro. Every time I tell that nigga to shut the fuck up, he's like, you know I'm gonna kill myself.
Alright, so I'm gonna be ending the stream now.
Alright.
Big thanks to Eddie Slayer and Ken Explicit Ken for coming on my podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, trust me, it's my honor to bring two legends on my podcast. Anyway, hope you have enjoyed, and please subscribe. Remember, hit 50 subscribers and I will be giving away an OBC account. So yeah, adios.